This is the halfway stage scorecard. 103 for 9. Instinct says probably not enough, but...
Yeah, instinct does say it's not enough, but there is enough in this surface to warrant the side going out and fielding with a chance of winning.
And Swardeston have defended sort of scores of around the 80, 90 mark in previous competitions. So they're no mugs with the ball. It'd be interesting to know whether they feel that their stronger discipline is batting or bowling. Let's have a look and see how they got on with the bat and how Wimbledon got on with the ball. There were one or two highly impressive performances. Richard Banham started off, the Swardeston old boy, getting the ball to seam around. Neil Turk took the first wicket, Sussex, but this kid here, Will Leith, very impressed with him.
Yeah, Will Leith has come on, he's 17, a guy who's got a steady head, controlled very well, wasn't fazed by the situation. And then other bowlers came on, they did their job, they bowled straight. They also had lots of variation within their bowling attack. Their leg spinner, Trenchard, and then Tuck comes back on towards the end, a guy who picked up wickets early on, and they never really let the Swardeston team get away from them.
It'll be very interesting to see how Wimbledon do it with the bat now. Will they come out and really try and seize the initiative? Because 100 has still got to be got. All right, it's less than a run a ball, but there are runs on the boards. Runs are on the board, on telly. There's going to be scoreboard pressure.
Yeah, I think Wimbledon have got to come out here and show and dominate, because Swardeston were 24 for 2 off the first 6 overs and never really recovered. It was difficult to fight back from that. But Wimbledon should know what the surface has got in it. It needs to be bossed early on. Those first 6 overs are crucial. Yes, if you can tick along at about 6, 7 and over, limit it to 1 wicket, you would expect then 36 for 1 off 6 overs, you would say it was Wimbledon's game. However, these guys, they've got nothing to lose now, have they? This is what it's all about. They've got the runs on the board, as you mentioned, Charles, and they've got to give it everything.
And one other little thing, which I think is of quite interesting, quite important. When you play club cricket for Wimbledon or whoever, year in, year out, you basically know what's coming your way, just as you as a professional cricketer know if you go and play against Gloucestershire, you bat against Steve Kirby, you know what's coming your way, you know his action, you know what sort of things he's trying to do with the ball. At Wimbledon, they will know what the Malden Wanderers or the Reigate Priory bowlers will do. Here, they're facing bowlers for the first time. They will never have seen their actions. They won't have a clue about whether they're in swing, out swing, off spin, leg spin, or whatever. It's a brand new experience for them. And that is crucial.
It is crucial. You don't know what actions to look for. You don't know where people deliver on the crease. One thing that certainly Swardeston were certainly lacking in the first innings, they didn't run very well. They didn't show any intent. They didn't try and boss it. They didn't try and turn over the strike. You can win this game in 1s and 2s. It doesn't have to be boundaries.
OK, we're very nearly ready to go next door for our first bit of commentary. Just before we go, give me one surprise pick that you think may be coming out of that Ashes squad at 2:30.
Oh, goodness. It'll be between, I would imagine...
I want a name. One name is all I want.
I look for Tremlett. I would have a look for Tremlett.
Well, that will be interesting. There are lots of words out on the street about him. We will find out, don't forget, in just over 20 minutes' time on Sky Sports News. And as soon as we know, we'll let you know as well. OK, to the commentary box. Rob Key is with Nick Knight.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, we've got a good game on here. They'll probably feel, Swardeston, that they're just a little bit light of where they'd like to be. I think the word from Swardeston is they're looking at around 140 before a ball was bowled, and probably that came down as the innings went on. But they've got 104 to be chased down by Wimbledon. Start. Good work in the field, and the fielders have to be tip-top. They'll have to be absolutely at their best to help the bowlers out. It's Michael Eccles with the new ball.
Yeah, they need early wickets. They need to pick the scoring back. This power play is absolutely crucial. 3 good spinners in their lineup. The seamers, they're going to have to try and get wickets as much as they can, and Eccles is the first man with that task.
Beauty. A little bit of nip off the surface. There's been a little bit of light drizzle fall in the last half an hour or so.
Good bit of seam there. Strange action, almost bowls off the wrong foot. Look at that, there we go. Talk about different actions you come up across, and this is certainly one of them. They'll sort of whirlwind, get it down there, and fine delivery as well. A bit of shape.
Now I have a real hope that Stephen Hobson's going to score some runs here. I'm particularly admiring of the pads, the white pads. We don't often see that, do we? Doesn't have the blue pads that his opening partner does. Oh, the white pads seem to be the go. We got a mixture, white and blue.
Does look like he's got a fairly hefty bat there. He's going to be able to wield away.
Hit nicely through cover area and we'll pick up 2 runs. So it's always nice to get off the mark, particularly when you're at a ground that you've never played at. I wonder how they're going to play here, Rob. Are they going to look to try and be aggressive? Swardeston found it hard to be aggressive in the early overs.
It's interesting to see what this pink ball does as well. It's the first time I've really seen the pink ball, and Crofty's saying it nips around a little bit early, which is nice for an opener.
Edge, and I don't think it quite carried. There is a slip in place.
And more seam movement here from the seamer opening bowler Eccles. I don't think it carried here, but he's getting a nice bit of movement off the pitch, and soft hands just was a little bit short.
Yeah, Jaden Hatwell just couldn't quite get forward. I don't think it quite carried. See Jaden Hatwell shortly, I'm sure, because he bowls off spin. We've seen some fairly vicious turn at times from this pitch here at the Rose Bowl. Really good looking shot. Punched through the offside. Don't think it'll quite go, no. But he will pick up 2, wants 3 though, and will get 3.
Nicely off the mark, Trenchard. He'll be happy with that. Didn't look to overhit it, just saw the little bit of seam movement. Pretty watchful. So Wimbledon off to the start they would have liked so far after the first over. Swardeston again going to need some wickets early. Hobson and Trenchard apparently like to go pretty hard up the top, like most people do in 2020 cricket. The ball is moving around a little bit here. We saw a fair amount of seam movement. Sam Thelwell, there's a little bit of movement out there. He's got to try and find as much as he can out of this Rose Bowl surface. Looks like a tall bowler. You get a little bit of bounce, and club cricketers as well. Pitches like this, that little bit of extra bounce can be quite a handful for the batsman. Generally, club wickets are slow and low, and bounce is the difference.
Pitched up and pushed through the offside, should get 2. A wonderful day for all the players and all the spectators. An opportunity as well to win this semi-final and then win the final. The finalists, the winners rather of the final, will go to Barbados to play in a Pro-Am tournament from November the 6th to November the 16th. What a prize that is. Guess all the players will want to impress, make sure they're on the plane. 1 or 2 that have missed out, of course. I'm sure there'll be a fairly healthy squad that goes. They'll all be volunteering, I'm sure, to get on the plane. Pulling straight, he's a little bit unlucky. Trenchard there, he's hit firmly down the ground.
Like another good bat, that. Where are these guys getting these bats from?
Learning about the blade you've had this year, then?
No, Gray Nichols' best I've ever had. It's nothing to do with the bat. It's pretty much me this year, I think.
Really good shot.
A lovely shot this here from Trenchard. As the pink ball Goes into the wet covers, but over pitching, but he's not looked at it too hard. Just, it's a thing here at the Rose Bowl. It's a good pitch, a fast outfield. You get value for playing proper cricket shots here. Ball races away for 4.
Well, take it again. Thank you very much. Pitch it up at your peril. I'll whack you back down the ground. Trenchard looks in good touch, doesn't he? 13 then from just 6 deliveries. Notice he's just out of his crease, so he's minimising any swing that might be there. That's not the case. I don't think the ball's swinging, but he's very keen to seize the ball as early as he can. Keeper standing back, that's an option. The wicketkeeper could stand up, try and push him back in to his crease, but he's refraining at this stage. Maybe that's why. Yes, he goes. A little thin edge. Ben Debenham says yes. So it's a really good reply from Thelwell. He whacked down the ground for a couple of 4s, and then he gets his man.
Yeah, really good reply. That Trenchard was looking in really good form and pushed him through the covers a couple of times. He just pulls his length back a little bit and just enough seam movement. Hopkins takes a nice catch, nice as a keeper to get it straight in the gloves. Wimbledon lose their first wicket. Trenchard, he goes for 13. Wimbledon now 16 for 1.
It's a timely wicket because Trenchard did look in really good form. 13 from 7. He looked dangerous. Thelwell had a good reply. Rob's right. Just bring his length back ever so slightly and just pushing at it. Thin edge, no slip in place, so it needed to be thin, and it was, and it's a good catch and a good moment for Thelwell.
Told in here that they will never appeal, so if he's nicked that one and he's appealing like that, he's definitely out.
Oh!
Max Fernie, the new batsman, left-hander, combat. The ball swinging out to the right-handers, going to be swinging back into him.
Swing and a miss. There is a slip in place. It's been a pretty good start from Swardeston. They'll be disappointed. They've gone for 16, but they've got the early wicket they required. Got a couple of spin options. Jaden Hatwell off spin. George Walker bowls left arm. Short and wide and punished.
Michael Eccles dragging the ball well down short and wide. The one place you don't want to bowl in any cricket, especially 2020. Thompson smashes it away over cover point.
I want to tempt fate, Rob, but the sun's appeared finally here. Some really heavy rain first thing this morning. The groundsman did an excellent job to prepare the surface. Talking about 1 or 2 showers maybe during the day, but it looks okay for now.
It's unbelievable the drainage at these grounds now. The new drainage that they've put in. We had a game a couple of years ago against Warnes, Hampshire, and it must have rained all day on the second day. And ended up sitting around, got the poker chips out with Warney, and we heard it thundering onto the roof and thought, well, there's no price of play tomorrow, so we ended up playing poker till about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Turned up, start on time, couldn't believe it.
Big appeal, but stifled appeal because I think there was some bat in it.
Yeah, this one, he just manages to move the ball back in towards the right-handed batsman, which I think in 2020 is a good option. Problem with outswing is you give angles, you give options for the batsman to free his hand up and hit the ball through the covers. We saw the Wimbledon bowlers actually do the opposite. Banham move the ball in considerably to the right hand.
Good fielding. So we're through 3 overs, 20 for 1. So 3 overs gone. They have picked up Swardeston the early wicket of Trenchard, but has been a smidgen expensive for their liking, chasing down 104 to win for Wimbledon, and they've started pretty well. Thelwell will be buoyed by the wicket of Trenchard. He got whacked for a couple of 4s, but he's staying in the attack from the northern end. He's gone full again, and he's been punished through the offside. Will it race away? No, I don't think it will. Hatwell in the deep.
Fernie's off the mark in similar fashion to all the Wimbledon batsmen so far with a 3. Nice push through the covers. Brings the danger man Hobson on strike. Thelwell's going to want to just find his length again here. He's, if anything, been a touch full. The wicket he got, he managed to just hit it, just bowl the ball down just that little bit shorter and reduce the nick.
Well, he's shorter this time, but leg side, so helped the well on its way, and will be 1 run. You know conditions well here, Rob. Finalists in the 2020 competition, 208, and you want it in 2. I was going to talk about the game here, but Rob's been telling me we've got to talk about the game in 207, which of course you won the finals day. That was Edgbaston, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll leave that.
Terrible place to play Edgbaston.
Better length.
Now, I'll tell you one thing we did find here, that finals day in 2008, the semi-final we played against Essex. Essex missed their line and length early on. Myself and Joe Denley managed to get off to a bit of a flyer. We got around 170, I think around there 160, 170, which we thought was a decent score. The wicket was a little bit slow, took spin. So gradually you thought the more it gets played on, the score that you want to get is going to come down. But actually it was the opposite. When the lights came on, we chased in the last game. Middlesex got 190. We thought we were done. We were well out of the game, but it skidded on nicely.
Swing and a miss. Big heave on the leg side.
And we actually thought that, when they got 190, that we wouldn't get past 100 almost. The spin would come into it. Kartik and Udall. I think that's happened almost this year in the 2020 final for professional cricket, where actually it's an advantage to chase here. Certainly under lights, we found out quite a few times the ball just comes on that little bit better, and it's a really good pitch here, and when it does skid on, it's one of the best to bat on.
Good line, good length. Well, maybe the captains of the 4 teams here need to have heard that, because they've got a wearing pitch here at the Rose Bowl. It's the same wicket, if you're just joining us for the first time today, that the one-day international between England and Pakistan was played on. It's a worn pitch. It's taken some spin, but the lights will be on later on for the final, and it might just be worth, instead of having a bat first, maybe having a bowl first. We'll see.
Don't take my word for that if they're listening out
and I've told everyone.
That's my view. As I say, we didn't do that well this year at all, so I'd probably listen to someone else.
Four overs gone then, 24 for 1. Michael Eccles has bowled well, 2 overs for 10 runs without a wicket, but he's been asked by his captain to bowl his 3rd. Of course, bowlers can bowl 4 overs in the 2020 competition. Swing and a miss. A little bit of swing for Eccles.
Eccles and the pink ball getting a little bit more swing, a little bit of late swing as well. It's just slightly off the pitch, but and a couple that have come into the right-hander Hobson, and that one just going away nicely, just leaning back on the drive and quite inducing the nick. But now we've got to change the keepers coming up to the stumps. He's pushing Hobson back. That's something we didn't see Swardeston do when they batted. Never used their feet, never came out their crease.
Get it! Get it!
Now we get our fact files up here and information on the teams that are playing, and Stephen Hobson says that he looks like, well, I'll ask you, you don't know the answer to this, Rob. Who does he look like? He's a South African opener, he looks like, apparently.
Facially or the way he bats?
Facially. Look-alike. South African opener. Well, he's gone. Just chipped away on the leg side. I think he was trying to hit it up and over mid-wicket, but doesn't get the connection he wants. So George Walker with the catch. Eccles with his first wicket.
Couple of swing away.